2008 here at Conscious Sound Studio with the man like Dougie Conscious. Right. How you doing, my brother?
Respect, man. Cool. Greetings.
You ready? Yes. Right. Dougie, how did you choose your name? Dougie Conscious.
Basically, because my label was called Conscious Sounds, and every time I used to go on the internet, people used to call me Dougie Conscious. So basically, I just got it from there.
Okay, it just grew naturally.
It just grew, really, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Dougie, what got you into roots and dub music in the first place? Where did it all start?
It started at school, really, or even before school. You know what I mean? I used to go to school, Brookhouse, just around the corner here, in Hackney, and basically dub music was, or reggae music really, more than dub, was the in music. People used to play it in the tuck shops. Things like that, you know what I mean? Skylarking and all them old kind of tunes, Horace Sandy, you know, through the 70s. And that's how I basically got into it. And kids I grew up with, you know, if you come from Hackney, then you cannot really, you always hear reggae music everywhere. In the high road I lived on, Stoke Newton High Road, there was like 4 reggae shops, you know? So it was like, reggae was everywhere. It was the in popular music, you know? And that's what I got into it.
Okay.
Growing up with it, really.
Okay. Next question is, the music, Dougie, where in your opinion does it come from originally?
Jamaica, innit? The old roots and dub thing comes from Jamaica. I think what we're doing in England now, what I try and do is try and emulate them same steppers tunes that I used to love, like, you know, Hard Times, Pablo Gadd, Think Twice, Darrell Williams, them Channel 1 tunes, King Tubbies, you know. After they started making them in the 80s and they went sort of like ragamuffin, there was still a big void, really, for people who like roots and dub music, because they weren't making it no more in Jamaica. You know, that's when you had English artists started making it. People like Dread and Fred, you know, Disciples, you know, them guys, Manassa. They started making their own tunes, and you went to dances and you heard them, and it was like, wow, wicked. You know, that's I think the current crop of root artists come from. Like, you know what I mean? The people that make the music, you know, comes from that sort of scene, definitely.
Okay. As you was growing up, what artists, whether they were soul or reggae, and what sound systems influenced you?
I never liked soul music at all. I never liked disco music. I only liked 2 music. That was like punk music and reggae, and that was it. And they both was kind of the same, because they both was like F off to the government, you know what I mean? Anti-establishment, you know what I'm saying? And there was raw music, you know, it was poor people's music, ghetto music you could call it. It was all made on the cheap, you know what I mean? Some little studio in someone's bedroom, you know what I mean? But it had good vibes to it, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like the pop music you buy, it was all polished and shiny and wow, it sounds wicked in your speakers. These tunes, when you played them, was like, and it was like, wow, blinking it. You know what I'm saying? Heavy, heavy, heavy. You know what I mean? That's what I like about it. It's just raw. You know what I mean? Proper music. You know?
What sound systems do you listen to when you was
Oh, loads of systems. When I grew up in Stoke Newton, you could go to a dance every night if you wanted to. There was tons of sound systems. Everyone had a sound in school. That was the in thing, sound systems. Obviously you had the big ones like Shaka and Coxon and Fat Man, all them kind of guys. But there was tons of sound. You can go to a dance every night of the week if you wanted to. Like a little blues dance, something like that. You know, if you wanted to.
What was the first place you remember going?
Boy, around my mate's house. My mate Wendell, he used to have a sound system called Tipler's Hi-Fi. Down Neville Road in Hackney. His brother used to have a sound, and there used to be another sound in there called KP. They was from Stoke Newton as well. And they used to have like sound system in his basement. He used to charge people a couple of quid to get in, have a few bottles of, you know what I mean? You know, those like a blues party, innit? Unlicensed, you know what I mean? Pay a quid to get in or whatever. I used to go on my skateboard. I used to like skateboards in them days, you know what I mean, in the 70s. So me and my mate used to go there, and his brother used to play tunes. Like, it was just like that, really. That's the first real experience of a sound system I ever had. I remember that bass, the 18-inch speakers. He used to have 2 18-inch, like a little basement room. When he put that bass, it was like, it was just overwhelming. I never felt nothing like that in my life, you know what I mean? It was like, it was mad, you know. That's the first time, and I must have been about 11 or 12, something like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's it, really. My first real experience.
Okay, and Dougie, I've always wanted to ask you this as well. What inspired you to actually get into producing?
To actually making the music?
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I think it was the whole scene in the late 80s. Like I say, like, people wanted to buy this kind of music. I used to have a record shop. I used to sell music down Camden. Me and a guy called Bags. We used to have a store. We used to sell all this music for years. But when we tried to buy the music from Jamaica, there was none there. You know what I'm saying? We tried to look, we used to go dub vendor, ask John, I said, you got any dub tunes? And he used to go, no, I'm dub. That's finished, man. It was like over. It was all bashment, ragga ragga and bogle and all that sort of stuff, which I wasn't really into, to be honest. You know what I mean? But like I said, then you used to go Shaka, and he'd play like a couple of new digital stuff that he's made, but it was the same kind of style as the tunes we really liked. Like say them Stepper tunes, Door, Shannon One, the Tubbies, you know what I mean? And when I sort of heard them, I thought, yeah man, I would like to make tunes like that. Basically, them kind of tunes inspired me to make my own ones like that, you know what I'm saying?
What equipment did you start off with?
I started off with, well, it wasn't actually my equipment, it was Manasseh's equipment. He used to have a 4-track, and he used to have a little bedroom in a house in Ridley Road in Hackney, down to Dalston. And I just went round there one day with my friend Benji, and I see he had a little 4-track, and he was making these dub tunes on it. And that was it, mate, I was hooked. I wanted to be scientist, you know what I mean? I wanted to be King Tubby. Psh, psh, psh. That's what I wanted to be, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I inspired to, man. I want to be scientist. Yang, yang, chong, wallop, you know what I mean? And that was it. I just never looked back since, really. You know, I had a job, I used to work as a crane driver. And in 1989, they made us redundant. And so the money I got from my redundancy, I think I got something like 1,500 quid. And with that, I put my first tune out. You know what I mean? And bought bought a little drum machine. I bought my first drum machine off Nick, which was used on, I think, the first Sound Aeration LP. You know, some old Yamaha thing, I think it was. Can't remember what it was now. But I learned to use that, and just basically went on from there. I recorded my first few tunes around Nick's house in his little bedroom, and then I just progressed and left Nick and started my own thing.
Is that what you done? Step in Time? Step
in Time, Can't Touch Jar, Original Formula. There's a few other tunes that never got released as well, that never come out. But yeah, some good stuff. You know, it's all done on a little cheap 4-track, and the master was a cassette SA90. Now the quality was pretty limited, but to me the quality didn't matter, you know, because it was more about the vibes, you know what I'm saying? And if it's a good tune, it's a good tune, whether it's extra polished and sound brilliant, or if it's raw and as long as it's good, you know, it has that vibe, then it's good. You know, quality to me was always second. The tune is always, you know, if it's a good tune, it will stand through, whether its quality is good or not. So, you know what I mean?
Dougie, this question might be a bit unfair from the point of view that you don't actually run a sound system. But,
okay.
Sound systems are having it rough at the moment, you know.
Yeah.
Given the current climate, you know, no smoking ban, lack of venues, noise limitation. What do you see for the future of sound systems?
Well, to be honest, pretty good. Because I go to France and them places, and every time I go there, there's a new sound system started. Maybe not so much in England, but definitely abroad in Europe and them places. They're mad for it, aren't they? You know, so I think the future's good, really. You know what I'm saying? There's more and more people making sound systems now. Even now, I think they even got a cup dance coming soon, haven't they? Astra's doing the next cup dance, apparently.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So there you go. And there's how many sounds in that? 16, and most of them I never heard of. So there you go. It must be good. You know, it must be. There's people still willing to do it out there. So I can't see how people. I don't see it's that bad. I mean, I went to Shaka a couple of months ago and it was pretty packed. You know, so I can't see that bad. You know what I mean? I agree. Record sales is hard. I think that's the hard bit. For producers and people who make the music, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's easy, I suppose, to get a sound, just make your own tunes on a computer. Don't even release them, just play them on your sound systems, exclusives. You know what I'm saying? In that respect. But I think the sounds, they're doing alright, to be honest. You know?
It has been observed that the makeup or the complexion of the crowd, which attends roots sound system dances, has changed over the years from predominantly black people to multicultural.
Yeah.
Dougie, why do you think this is happening?
Don't know, just the music, innit? It was vibes. I mean, I'll tell you, the first time I went to as a person growing up in Hackney, when I used to go to sound systems, I was often the only white guy there. You know what I'm saying? I used to go with a few of my black mates. If I didn't go with them, I probably wouldn't have got in. They would say, oh, members only, and you know what I'm saying? He's a policeman, rare. You know what I mean? I remember the first time I went to a sound, I think it was 1988, and it was Manasseh versus Jar Warrior. And I went with my mate Little John. And I walked in and I thought, flipping heck, it's all these white people. And they weren't like poor white people like me, like working class. There was like kind of, hello, richer, middle class white people. And I was like, flipping heck. I was really shocked, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was the first time I saw lots of white people in a dance. And it was good, you know, it was good. You know, and what I think then was, them same white people who went to Manasseh, and say Jar Warrior and Joey J, they all started drifting over to Shaka now. It was Nikki from Cultural Emotions. She started putting Shaka on down the Rocket. You see what I'm saying? Nice kind of area, not too bad. You know what I mean? Because Shaka would always play around Dalston and on these roughneck parts of Hackney. But a lot of them people, I think they was a bit scared to come to somewhere like Hackney or, you know what I'm saying, because it's a bit rough, you know what I'm saying. But if they go to a nice place like Holloway or Camden, then you get them sort of, the more white people coming into it. And that's, I think, it was quite clever the way she did that. Got a shopper in Holloway Road, a lot of white people come, and also I have to say a lot of Indian people. I remember going to Southall for the first time and seeing Shaka, and I was like, Jesus, I've never seen so much Indian people in a dance. You know what I mean? It's wicked. You know what I mean? And also, I think it all depends on what sound system it is as well. I mean, if you go to Shaka, you see predominantly more black people than, say, if you go to University of Dub, where it's more of a younger crowd. You know what I mean? More younger teenagers, you know what I'm saying? Whereas, like I say, if you go to Shaka, it's more older people my age, and a lot more black people, and it's more sort of like, I don't know, spiritual vibes. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is a bit lacking in some of the other dances. You know what I'm saying? The spirituality's sort of gone a bit now, and it's a bit like jumping in the air sort of thing. I don't know. You know, I like to go to Shaka, and it's like going to church or something. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you go, you can feel like an atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Dougie, how do you feel about internet forums such as Speaker Plan or Blood and Fire?
I think they're great. It's good. Anyhow I can get my message across to people to like listen to my music or buy it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Because right now we need some sales. For us to survive in this business, we need record sales. And for me personally, to get any sort of advertisement, be Blood and Fire, YouTube, MySpace, then that's good. The only downside to the internet is everyone pirates your tunes. And I put a record out this week, and next week I can get it for nothing. You know, that's the only downside. The internet's wicked, but at the same time, it's killing us really, because you know I talk to people abroad and say, "Oh, I have all your records." I say, "Oh, great. Yes, I download them from the internet for free." And I think, well, not so great, because you know what I mean. You know, I don't want to be rich, but I like to earn a living out of it so I can survive. You know what I'm saying? And I think if it carries on like that, and people just give up, they think, "Why make records?" And you know, you can't make the money out of it. You know, a lot of things as well is a lot of the artists that you work with, the singers, they go on the internet and they see, oh, my tune's there, and they assume that you and me, I'm selling the record on the internet, but the reality is I'm not. Someone just pirate it, but they don't really understand that sometimes. Say, oh, my tune's selling on the internet, but really, someone just nicked it. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's a bad thing about the internet, but on the whole, it's a good thing.
Dougie, do you think roots music, I mean back in the day this was the case, but I don't know if it's still the case now, but I'm going to ask you this question. Is roots music still the voice of the people?
It's hard to say really. I think it tries to be. You know what I mean? You know, I think it's always tried to be. It's always had like conscious lyrics, you know what I'm saying? That's why I liked it. You know, proper reality lyrics, not those stupid lyrics, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it is. You know, there's always been a message there, but whether the people want to hear it, that's the different ball game. You know what I mean? I always think the roots music has always had that message, positive message. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it is.
Okay. Now, Dougie, this is another question which is a bit unfair as you're a producer. This is like a sound system oriented kind of question. But the question is, there has been talk of a Premier League of sound systems.
Okay.
What are your views on this?
Well, I think there already is one, isn't there? I mean, when you go down to any of them university dub dances, there's only about 4 or 5 sounds that ever played there anyway. So there you go. There's a Premier League already. And what Ash is trying to do now with that cup thing is trying to bring the Division 1 up. Do you see what I'm saying? If you're talking football terms, they're like the Division 1 now. They were looking for promotion to get into the Premier League, you know what I'm saying? But to get that, they have to get a chance. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's good that them things are happening. I want to see newer sounds. I don't want to go and say the same 6 or 7 sounds every week or whatever. You know, it's good to have some fresh blood. Because once you get the fresh blood now, it's going to inspire the other big sounds now to start. Yeah, we better start pulling our socks up. You know what I'm saying? Because competition is good. You know what I'm saying? You always have to have competition. So there you go. I think, like I say, it's already a Premier League sound systems.
Okay. Well, Dougie, this is the last question.
Go on.
What is the funniest thing you've ever seen happen in a dance?
Boy, I don't know. I think the maddest thing I ever seen was when I went to Shackle once down Mare Street. I just see some guy running around in circles. Like he's just running around in circles for hours. I'm thinking, what's he doing? You know what I mean? I don't know, it's just the vibes or whatever. He was just running around in circles. You know what I mean? For hours upon hours. That was the weirdest thing, I suppose. The funniest thing I heard, I don't know, I never actually saw it, was when Tubby was supposed to drop the bass in the University of Dublin and all the water fell down on King Charlotte's head. I think that is the funniest thing I ever heard. You know what I mean? Imagine that you're in a dance and you go, turn the bass up and the water falls on the other side's head. That's just funny. I wasn't there, but I heard about it, and that to me is funny. You know what I mean? Classic.
Dougie, is there anybody you'd like to give a big up to?
Everyone, big up all the people that buy my music. You know what I mean? Keep buying it, and yeah, man, that's it. Really, just keep buying the tunes. Wicked.
Dougie, thank you very much for your time.
No problemo.
That is it.
Leave it there, man. All right. Film doing a mix first, then you do the talking after.
Let's do 2 mixes, right? In film one, I'll film next one. We're going to cut between the two. After that. Start giving Cube-based evening classes, mate. Yeah? Well, if you ever do, man, give me a ring. I want to be a student. We've got the software, just don't have to use it, man.
Tell it.
You know how to use Cube-based, brethren? It's like Lee Perry says now, right? None of them computer things because other people have to mix that he doesn't want to know. Lee Perry. Don't like Cube-based, don't like none of them things there.
Anything is enough, really. Nothing.
There's a very thin line between genius and madness, you know what I mean?
I think he plays on it, to be honest. I don't think he's a nutter. I don't think so. When I met him, he seems alright. Turns it on when he wants, you know what I mean? A little part of the myth, isn't it?
Yeah. Ching. Ching. Start that running from there. Oh, on a mad mixtape.
Alright, mate, I'll give you
Mad.
Right.
No, I'm sure you'll be very good at that.
Frank Bruno mixing.
A what? What do you call it?
Frank Bruno.
Frank Bruno.
Frank Bruno mix, mate. You know what I mean, Harry? You know what I mean, son?
What's that record?
Eric is on the table.
Oh, look outside on the side. There should be some more in there. I'll be going. Swap shot. Are you ready?
Ready?
You in tune to Conscious Sounds. This is Dougie Conscious on the mix. Run it. Conscious Sounds Studio. Hit it!